8 best places to pet your dog. He'll love you even more. Hey there, dog lovers. Today we're diving deep into the 8 best places to pet your dog. And trust me, he'll love you even more after this. But here's the fascinating part that's going to blow your mind. There's actually a specific spot on your dog's body that, when touched correctly, releases the exact same hormones that a mother feels when hugging her newborn baby. We're talking about scientifically proven zones that can literally transform your relationship with your furry friend in just 7 minutes. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll discover the secret technique that only 3% of dog owners know about. If you enjoy fascinating insights like this and want to see more, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. The scientific secret behind the perfect pet. Have you ever wondered why your dog seems to melt into pure bliss when you scratch that one particular spot behind his ears? Or why some dogs practically beg for belly rubs while others run away the moment you reach for their paws? Well, it turns out there's actual science behind these reactions, and what researchers discovered will completely change how you think about petting your dog. Picture this. You're sitting on your couch after a long day, and your dog jumps up beside you. You start absent-mindedly stroking his fur, and suddenly something magical happens. His breathing slows down, his eyes get that dreamy, half-closed look, and he leans into your touch like he never wants it to end. What you're witnessing isn't just cute behavior, it's a complex neurochemical response that's been 15,000 years in the making. Scientists at Azabu University in Japan made a groundbreaking discovery that changed everything we thought we knew about the human-dog bond. They found that when dogs and their owners engage in positive physical contact, especially prolonged eye contact combined with gentle petting, both species experience a dramatic surge in oxytocin levels. Now, oxytocin is often called the love hormone because it's the same chemical that floods a mother's system when she holds her newborn baby. Think about that for a second. Your dog literally experiences the same biochemical rush of love and attachment that defines the most profound human relationships. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The research showed that dogs who maintained longer eye contact with their owners had oxytocin levels that increased by an astounding 130%. And get this, their human companions experienced a 300% increase. This means that petting your dog the right way doesn't just make him feel good. It creates a feedback loop of bonding hormones that strengthens your relationship on a molecular level. Now let's talk about endorphins, those incredible feel-good chemicals that act like natural painkillers and mood elevators. When you pet your dog in the right spots, you're triggering the release of endorphins in his system. But here's what most people don't realize. Dogs have significantly more touch receptors in their skin than humans do. This means they experience every gentle stroke, every loving scratch, with an intensity that we can barely imagine. It's like turning up the volume on pleasure and relaxation. The cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. Studies have shown that proper petting techniques can actually lower your dog's heart rate and blood pressure, creating a meditative state that's incredibly beneficial for his overall health. Some dogs even fall asleep during these sessions, which tells us just how deeply relaxing the experience can be. But not every dog responds the same way to touch, and this is crucial to understand. Some dogs have what researchers call touch sensitivity. They may have had inadequate socialization as puppies, experienced trauma, or they might simply have a naturally more reserved personality. I always tell people to watch for the subtle signs. If your dog tenses up, tries to move away, or shows any signs of stress like panting or restlessness, he's telling you something important. There are also medical reasons why a dog might reject touch in certain areas. Hidden injuries under thick fur, conditions like arthritis that make certain positions uncomfortable, or even ear infections that make head scratches painful. This is why observation is so critical. Your dog is constantly communicating with you through his body language, and learning to read these signals is the first step toward becoming an expert at canine comfort. Here's something that might surprise you. The approach matters just as much as the technique. Researchers have found that dogs respond best when they're allowed to initiate contact. This means waiting for your dog to come to you, letting him sniff your hand, and paying attention to his cues about when and where he wants to be touched. It's about respect and consent. Concepts that apply to our relationships with dogs just as much as they do with humans. Comment below and tell me, what's the one spot where your dog absolutely goes crazy for scratches? I read every single comment and I'll respond to each one because I love hearing about the unique personalities and preferences of your furry family members. But here's what veterinary behaviorists discovered that's going to completely revolutionize how you approach petting your dog. There's actually a secret hierarchy of pleasure zones that most dog owners get completely wrong. They're touching their dogs in random order, missing the optimal sequence that could maximize bonding and relaxation. And when you get this sequence right, well, let's just say you're about to discover why some dogs seem to have a deeper connection with certain people. And it has everything to do with knowing exactly where and how to touch them. Make sure you're subscribed, because what I'm about to reveal next will transform every interaction you have with your four-legged best friend. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. The 4 golden zones. Every dog adores. So you want to know the secret hierarchy that veterinary behaviorists discovered? Well, prepare to have your mind blown, because what I'm about to share with you comes from years of research into canine neurophysiology and behavior. These aren't just random spots that dogs happen to like. These are scientifically mapped pleasure zones that trigger specific neurochemical responses in your dog's brain. Think of your dog's body like a sophisticated sensory map, where certain areas are like hitting the jackpot on a slot machine of happiness. Professional animal therapists and veterinary behaviorists have identified what they call the golden zones. 4 specific areas that consistently produce the most positive responses across different breeds, ages, and temperaments. And here's the kicker. 90% of dog owners are touching these zones in completely the wrong order. Let me introduce you to golden zone number 1, the atlanto-occipital region, or as I like to call it, the magic neck spot. This is the area right behind your dog's head where the skull meets the neck, and it's absolutely loaded with nerve endings that connect directly to your dog's pleasure centers. Here's why this spot is so incredible. Your dog literally cannot reach this area himself, no matter how flexible he is. It's like having an itch you can never scratch, which means when you hit this spot correctly, you're providing relief and pleasure that he simply cannot get anywhere else. The technique here is crucial. You want to use gentle circular motions with your fingertips, applying just enough pressure to stimulate those nerve endings without causing discomfort. I always tell people to imagine you're trying to work out a tiny knot in someone's shoulders, firm enough to be effective, but gentle enough to be soothing. When you get it right, you'll see your dog's eyes start to close, his breathing will deepen, and he might even let out one of those contented sighs that just melts your heart. Now, golden zone number 2 is going to surprise a lot of people. The temporal region and ear base. This is the area right behind and slightly below your dog's ears. And the science behind why dogs love this spot is fascinating. The muscles that control ear movement are incredibly complex, with a rich network of sensory nerves that, when stimulated properly, can trigger a cascade of relaxation throughout your dog's entire body. Here's the technique that professional animal massage therapists use. Gently grasp the base of your dog's ear between your thumb and fingers, then make small, circular massaging motions. You're essentially giving your dog a mini spa treatment that targets muscles he uses constantly but can never relax on his own. Some dogs love this so much that they'll actually lean their entire head into your hand and close their eyes in pure bliss. But be careful here, and this is important, never stick your fingers into your dog's ear canal. We're working on the external structures only. The ear canal is incredibly sensitive and can be easily damaged, so keep your massage to the thick, meaty part of the ear base. Golden zone number 3 might seem obvious, but most people do it completely wrong. The chest and pectoral region. This area is special because it represents safety and non-vulnerability to your dog. Unlike the belly, which many dogs see as their most vulnerable area, the chest is a place where dogs feel secure receiving touch, even from strangers. The key to chest massage is understanding the anatomy. Dogs have powerful pectoral muscles that support their front legs and shoulders, and these muscles carry a lot of tension from daily activities like running, jumping, and playing. When you massage this area correctly, you're not just providing pleasure, you're actually helping to relieve physical tension and promote better circulation. Start with broad, upward strokes from the bottom of the chest toward the neck, using the flat of your palm rather than just your fingertips. The pressure should be firm but not aggressive. Think therapeutic massage, not vigorous petting. Many dogs will actually lean into this type of touch and may even rest their chin on your shoulder if you're sitting at their level. Finally, we have golden zone number 4, the dorsal region, which runs along your dog's back from the base of the neck to just before the tail. This area is incredibly important because it mimics the natural grooming behavior that dogs would receive from their mothers and pack members in the wild. When you stroke this area correctly, you're tapping into deeply ingrained comfort behaviors that date back thousands of years. The technique I recommend is what I call the wave of relaxation. Start at the base of your dog's neck and use long, flowing strokes that follow the natural direction of his fur all the way down to the base of his tail. Vary your pressure based on your dog's response. Some dogs prefer light, barely their touches, while others enjoy a firmer pressure that really works into the muscle. Here's something most people don't know. Dogs carry emotional tension in their backs just like humans do. A stressed or anxious dog will often have tight, tense muscles along his spine, and proper back massage can actually help release both physical and emotional tension. What's your dog's favorite spot so far? Drop a comment and let me know which of these 4 zones gets the biggest reaction from your furry friend. I love hearing about the unique personalities of different dogs. But here's where things get really interesting. These 4 golden zones are just the beginning. There are 4 additional zones that only the most experienced animal behaviorists know about, and one of them is so effective that dogs literally melt into a puddle of contentment. But there's also one zone that you should never ever touch. The 4 secret zones of the experts, plus the forbidden zone. You thought those first 4 zones were impressive? Well, buckle up, because we're about to enter territory that most dog owners never even know exists. These are the secret zones that professional animal therapists and veterinary behaviorists use when working with the most challenging cases. Anxious rescue dogs, elderly dogs with trust issues, and even aggressive dogs that need to learn to associate human touch with positive experiences. What makes these zones secret isn't that they're hidden. It's that they require a much deeper level of trust between you and your dog. These are areas that tap into your dog's most primitive comfort responses, zones that can literally transform a nervous, skittish dog into a relaxed, trusting companion. But they also require perfect technique and absolute respect for your dog's boundaries. Let's start with secret zone number 5, the frontal region between the eyes. Recent research with specific breeds like Labradors, Beagles, and Poodles has revealed something extraordinary about this tiny area just above your dog's nose, extending up toward his forehead. This region contains an incredibly dense concentration of pressure-sensitive receptors that, when stimulated correctly, can induce what researchers describe as a meditative state in dogs. The technique here is almost impossibly delicate. You're going to use just one finger, I prefer the index finger, and apply the lightest possible pressure, barely more than the weight of the finger itself. Start between your dog's eyes and move slowly downward toward his nose with smooth, continuous motion. When you get it right, you'll see something magical happen. Your dog's eyes will start to close, his facial muscles will completely relax, and his breathing will become so deep and slow that he might actually fall asleep right there in your hands. This zone works because you're accessing the same pressure points that mother dogs instinctively stimulate when they groom their puppies' faces. It's hardwired into your dog's nervous system as a signal for safety, comfort, and love. Secret zone number 6 is the submandibular region, or the area under your dog's chin and jaw. This spot is fascinating from a behavioral standpoint because when a dog willingly exposes this area to you, he's demonstrating complete trust and submission in the most positive way possible. This is also where dogs have important scent glands, so when you massage this area, you're engaging with one of their primary sensory systems. The approach here is crucial. You need to come from below, never from above, because reaching over your dog's head can trigger defensive instincts even in the most trusting dogs. Cup your hand under his chin and use gentle upward strokes with your fingertips. The pressure should be light but consistent, almost like you're helping to support the weight of his head. Many dogs will actually lean down into this touch, and some will even rest their entire head in your hand. It's an incredibly intimate gesture that speaks to the deep bond between you and your dog. If your dog allows this type of touch, you've achieved something really special: complete trust and surrender. Now we come to secret zone number 7, and this one requires a serious warning: the abdominal region. This is what I call the zone of ultimate trust, because when a dog voluntarily rolls over and exposes his belly, he's literally putting his life in your hands. The belly contains all of a dog's vital organs, and exposing it is the ultimate expression of vulnerability and trust in the animal kingdom. Here's what most people get wrong. They see a dog on his back and immediately start rubbing vigorously. Big mistake. The belly area is incredibly sensitive, and aggressive rubbing can actually be uncomfortable or even painful. Instead, use what I call the cloud touch technique. Imagine your hand is a soft cloud, gently drifting across your dog's belly. Use broad, circular motions with minimal pressure, almost like you're barely touching him at all. Never force a dog into this position. The belly rub is an invitation that must come from your dog, and some dogs simply never feel comfortable enough to offer it, and that's perfectly okay. It doesn't mean your dog loves you any less. Secret zone number 8 might surprise you: the interdigital region, or the space between your dog's toes. This area is packed with nerve endings and is where dogs carry a tremendous amount of physical tension from walking, running, and supporting their body weight all day long. It's like canine reflexology. Use gentle pressure with your thumb to massage the soft spaces between your dog's toes, making small circular motions. Some dogs find this incredibly relaxing, while others are too ticklish or sensitive. Always watch for your dog's reaction and stop immediately if he seems uncomfortable. But now we need to talk about the forbidden zone, areas you should absolutely never touch unless you're a veterinary professional. The tail area is incredibly sensitive, and many dogs have strong defensive reactions to tail handling. The rear legs can trigger powerful kicking reflexes that could injure both you and your dog. And the muzzle area, while not dangerous, is where dogs do their most important sensory work, and interference can be stressful. Here's something that's going to change everything you think you know about dog massage. There's actually a specific time-based protocol that can transform even the most touch-averse dog into a cuddle enthusiast, and it only takes 7 minutes. The 7-minute technique that transforms any dog. Here's where everything we've discussed comes together into something truly revolutionary. What I'm about to share with you is a scientifically backed protocol that was originally developed for animal-assisted therapy programs, where therapists needed a reliable way to build trust and connection with dogs they'd never met before. This technique has been tested on thousands of dogs, from hyperactive puppies to traumatized rescues to elderly dogs with arthritis. And the results are nothing short of miraculous. Why 7 minutes? It turns out that 7 minutes is the optimal time frame for triggering what researchers call the neurochemical cascade, the point at which your dog's brain begins producing measurable levels of oxytocin, endorphins, and other bonding hormones. Less than 7 minutes, and you don't reach the threshold. More than 7 minutes initially, and you risk overwhelming dogs who aren't used to extended touch sessions. Let me walk you through this life-changing protocol step by step. Minutes 1 and 2 represent the recognition phase. This is all about creating the perfect environment and establishing initial trust. First, eliminate all distractions. Turn off the TV, put away your phone, and focus completely on your dog. Position yourself at your dog's level, either sitting on the floor or in a low chair. Here's something most people never think about. Synchronize your breathing with your dog's. This might sound weird, but dogs are incredibly sensitive to our energy and stress levels, and calm, rhythmic breathing actually helps them relax. Offer your closed hand for your dog to sniff. Never an open palm, which can seem threatening. Wait for your dog to approach you. Never force the interaction. When he seems ready, place your first touch on his chest, that safe, non-vulnerable zone we discussed earlier. This first contact should last the full 2 minutes, allowing your dog to fully process that this is going to be a positive experience. Minutes 3 and 4 are the trust-building phase. Now you're going to slowly transition to the golden zones, but here's the key. You're moving in a specific sequence that mimics the natural progression of trust. Start with the neck region, using those gentle circular motions we practiced. Pay attention to your dog's body language. Is he leaning into your touch? Are his muscles relaxing? These are your green lights to continue. Next, move to the base of the ears, but only if your dog is showing positive responses. Some dogs will actually guide you to their favorite spots during this phase by nudging your hand or repositioning themselves. This is exactly what you want to see. Your dog becoming an active participant in the bonding process rather than just passively receiving touch. Minutes 5 and 6 represent the intimacy phase. This is where you can explore the secret zones, but only if your dog has been enthusiastically receptive up to this point. The frontal region between the eyes is often a good choice here, as it tends to have an almost hypnotic, calming effect. If your dog rolls over during this phase, and some will, you can try the gentle belly massage we discussed, but remember to use that cloud-like touch. This is also when you might see what animal behaviorists call displacement behaviors. Your dog might yawn, shake himself off, or stretch. These aren't signs of boredom or discomfort. They're actually signs that tension is leaving his body. It's like he's physically releasing stress and anxiety that he's been carrying around. Minute 7 is the integration phase. This final minute is crucial for cementing the positive experience in your dog's memory. Return to his absolute favorite zone, the one where you saw the strongest positive response during the session. Use this time to reinforce the bond you've just created. Many dogs will maintain eye contact during this phase, which is their way of saying thank you and expressing the deep connection they're feeling. The beauty of this protocol is that it adapts to different personalities. For hyperactive dogs, focus on the longer strokes along the back and chest that promote calming. For shy or fearful dogs, spend extra time in the recognition phase and move more slowly through the sequence. For senior dogs, use lighter pressure and pay special attention to areas that might be arthritic or sensitive. What kind of transformation can you expect? Dogs who complete this 7-minute protocol show measurable decreases in cortisol levels for up to 30 minutes afterward. Their heart rates slow, their breathing deepens, and many actually fall asleep shortly after the session ends. Even more importantly, dogs begin to seek out these interactions, approaching their owners with the specific body language that says, "I'd like some of that magic touch, please." I want you to try this technique with your dog within the next 24 hours. Pay attention to how his behavior changes, not just during the session, but for hours afterward. Many owners report that their dogs seem more relaxed, more affectionate, and more connected to them for the rest of the day. What was your dog's reaction when you tried these techniques? I genuinely want to hear about your experience, so drop a comment below and tell me about your 7-minute transformation session. And if this video helped you understand your dog better and strengthen your bond, I'd love it if you'd subscribe and join our community of dog lovers who are always learning new ways to make their furry friends happier and healthier.